This is the basic system of setting up your Alinco DJX-11. Obviously, the first thing you've got to do is make sure that you're not going to get confused by preset settings in the radio. So the first thing that you can do is on the side here, this little button, you press that button and it'll switch the radio off. So now the radio is off. So what we do is we hold the function button in, which is the top button there. You hold the function button in and you press the radio on. And you wait for it to come on. It will then come up and it will say to you, reset complete. So in other words, now the radio is completely reset to the factory settings. Now you'll see that there are two channels. So we obviously want to use just a single channel. So to get rid of the second channel so that you work it on not on the sub but on the main, you press the main button in for more than 2 seconds. 1, 2, and there you are. Now the bottom has disappeared and then you've got the standard frequency. The first thing you've got to do is set up your radio so that there's a few functions that you're going to make sure are in the right position, and then you can pre-program it. So the first thing we do is, you can see up top there, it's VFO. So your VFO, to change from VFO to program or to preset, you press the button at the bottom corner here, the VPM button. So if I press that, you'll see that is preset. It shows FM on the top. And if I press again, it shows the memory. Now it's the memory channels. Now if I press again, it goes back to VFO. So you always start off at the VFO position. So let's clean up the rest of the radio first for our tracking. So the first thing I will do is basically press the function button, and it comes up with a little black dot on the top there. When the function button is there, I can select mode, which is this number 4, and then it says modulation is auto. But I don't want to do it auto, so I turn the top button to go to UHF, or to USB, upper sideband. There you can see I've got USB. I now press this button again to get rid of it, so now it is preset on USB. If I wanted to have a look, I can press it. The function button comes on, I press mode, and you'll see it's USB. So I'll go out of USB. I now go to the next thing, I press function. When I've pressed the function button, I press gain, and the gain can go from 1 to 10, which means you're reducing it. So I put it on 1, which is the strongest, and I press the function button and I take it off. I do it again, press the function button, I go to attenuation, turn that on, off, low, high, but I leave the attenuation on off. I press the function button. So I've done gain, attenuation, and I've done mode. There's another one which is called audio. Here's the audio, so I press the button there. I click on the audio. Audio there, sorry, there's audio. We just do that. Gain, audio, and I take the audio off. Is high is off. If I press the button again, it's the low, and that's off. Filter. The high filter's out, so just make sure everything is off. I then press that button to get out of that mode. The next thing I will do is the step. The step is so that when you slightly off frequency, you can turn it, so you don't want it to jump completely past. So what I do is press the function button, again comes on, I press the step, it'll be on auto, but I turn the top and I go to 50 Hertz. Which is very fine adjustment that I can do. I then press the enter button and it's now accepted. Let's just double check. I press the function button, I press the step button, and it's 50 Hertz, which is fine. So now the radio is basically programmed with or not programmed, but it's now, all the settings are done for the correct thing while you're going out into the field to look after an animal. So let's start off now by putting some frequencies in. So the way you would do that is, you say the first thing is make sure it's on VFO, variable frequency oscillator. So the VFO is on. I then type in, let's use 151 as an example. I'll say 151.000. That's my first frequency that I want to type in. Okay, so now 151.000 is the first one I want to do. I press enter to enter the frequency into the radio. I then press the function button into memory, and I go onto channel 1. For instance, there you can see channel 1 at the bottom, or bank 1 basically, but you can also go to bank 0 because so let's go to bank 0, and I turn the first one onto the first frequency. So now you can see bank 0, the first frequency, number 1 frequency is 151.000. But I like the idea that that's 00, so let me just go to 0 rather. So now that 0 relates to that 0, just so that I can show you that it works. I then press this button down here, that VP button. I then go, and I go out of that, and I'm back into VFO. Now, I type in 151.100 as the next frequency basically. I enter that, I press this function button, and I go and I put that in as number 1. I turn the top button and the top little number. I'm on bank 0, but now I've made it as the first or the second frequency, or number 1. So channel 1, it's 151. I press that, it enters it, I go out there, and I go 151.200 for example. I enter it, open it up by the function button. I select my position I want to save it in. You can't overwrite because you've got to first delete those ones if you wanted to delete it in number 1 again. But you put it onto number 2, for instance. I press VPM, press function, and it's entered. Let's do another one. 151.300. I press enter to enter it first. Press that button up top there, the function button. I go to position number 3, VPM, function, and enter. So now we program basically 3. So let's see. So now we put the radio off, for instance. Our radio is off. Now we're going to go into the field. I'll put the radio on. Radio comes on. Say, for instance, I now want to go and look at the frequencies that I've typed. There's VFO. So I go first, that's the preset, and there's the memory channels. Memory channels, number 3 is there, and number 3 is there. Number 2, or they are 2, there they are, you see? 1, there they are. So you can then dial by changing this number here to the channel that you want, and your frequency is in the position. Okay, if there's any questions, please contact me. Thank you.